Good day, everybody, and welcome to the Compass Kitchen. This is the heart of our food operation here, where with the assistance of my dedicated and talented volunteer team, we produce meals for our clients. We serve in the vicinity of 6,000 meals a month that comes out of this kitchen. So today, what we're going to prepare for you are some items that you can prepare for yourself at home. Simple, they're fast, and they can be prepared using things that we have available in our market. Hello, here we go for our last dish of the day. We are going to make pork meatballs with a mushroom sauce. Again, simple things we can do at home. A little bit of refresher, sharp knife. See this little thing here? Try to keep that covering your thumb. All right, we're gonna need some more onions. So I'm just gonna give you a little refresher on the julienne and the dice. So here we go, boom, 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 boom. Julienne! Dice, 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 dice. Okay. Here we go. Whoomp, whoomp. Here we go. We're gonna do these meatballs with a pork. You could do it with beef, you could do it with lamb. You could do it with beef and lamb, you could do it with veal. We're using pork. This is from our market. Okay, nice wild. There we go. So, pork. Now, we're going to add some onions to it. Yes, we are. Now, here's a trick that we often use in making ground beef and ground meat that's formed into a particular shape. We do something called a panade. A panade is a mixture of bread and milk or bread and cream that we cook until it dries out a bit, but it gives texture. It helps bind our mixture together. And the juices tend to inflate, permeate the bread that's mixed in to our meat, and that keeps it juicier. So I put a pot on the stove, a little bit of cream in there, a little bit of milk, doesn't matter, whatever you've got in your fridge. And you got any leftover bread at home? Something stale, something you're about to throw out? Keep it. This is perfect for a panade. She comes boiling up. I've got an old hot dog bun. In she goes. I'm gonna stir it. I'm gonna moosh it. See how it's pulled away from the edge? Dry it slightly. All right. Pop that in. Let's mix that into our pork. Do we need to use a spoon? The chef's best tools. The hands. Bit of salt. Bit of pepper. What kind of herbs could we put in there if we wanted to? Well, there's different types. Whatever you've got at home, I am going to use, what am I going to use? This is great. This is just like a mixed vegetable herb. Just gonna put some of that in there. And using my hand, so I'm not stiff. I'm not beating this pork to death. I'm allowing my fingers to slightly relax. And my hand is just sort of like a floppy mixer. Do you need to use egg? Not in this recipe, because we've used the panade to make it, so no worries with that. If you wanted to put in ketchup, you could put in ketchup. If you wanted to put in Worcestershire sauce, if you wanted to put in HP sauce, if you wanted to put in mustard, you can put in mustard. Should we put in some mustard? Why not? What do you say? I think so. Let's go to the fridge. Hello, mustard, mustard, mustard. Okay, sometimes we just get creative. I'm not going to put in mustard. I found this beautiful, kind of like a red pepper. I cook this way, by the way. This is how I come up with daily specials for 45, 50 years in cookery. I walk to the fridge and go, what can I use? What can I play with? Food is playing. So put that in there, put that back. Remember I said taste at every stage. Yes, I am tasting raw pork. Before you scream in alarm, there's actually a breakfast dish in Germany and other parts of Eastern Europe and Central Europe where they have raw pork on a bun in the morning. So yes, I'm going to taste the raw pork. Raw food tastes different from cooked food. I think it needs a little more salt. Oftentimes, what I will do, I'm gonna put a little bit in the bowl, just so I get a preview of what it's gonna taste like when it comes out of the oven. Boom, into the microwave. I don't know, do I need to adjust the seasonings? Sometimes when you're dealing with the raw product, it'll seem like it's over seasoned, but by the time you cook it, it'll be just perfect. Meanwhile, you can get this from the market. Good old Campbell's cream of mushroom soup. So we're going to do pork meatballs and mushrooms. Don't have any mushrooms. We don't often give away mushrooms, but we do give away canned mushrooms. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So I'm going to pop this open. Okay, what do I think of the consistency? Yeah, it's okay. Not bad. Seasoning is good. Good. So I hit it right. A little bit too dense, maybe. Could maybe use a little more panade. Could be. But instead, I'm just going to put a little bit of milk or 10% or half and half, whatever you got on hand. I'm just going to mix that in. All right. We can start making our sauce. I'm just going to drain my canned mushrooms. So I'm going to brown my meatballs in a pan. There and there. That in the pan there. A little bit of oil in there. Make sure it's nice and soaked for my lovely pot. Just gonna put this on low, preheat that a little bit. Good, we'll start this heating. What have I got this at? I've got this at high now. I'm gonna go down to medium. Frying our meatballs. If you want to be fancy schmancy, you could form them. We call this a quenelle. See how I roll it over the 2 spoons? Yep. And that's what the final product looks like. But no, I am going to do it like we all normal people do, which is roll it in the palm of our hand. So what you would be helpful to have a little bit of water to dip your fingers into. Again, personal taste. How big do you want your meatball? Personal thing. Boom. Shape, 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 shape. Tossing it back and forth in my hand. I'm just going to get a little browning on those meatballs. Good. Again, pop them in the oven. Of course, always do meatballs by putting them raw in whatever sauce, which is typical, and especially if you're doing Italian meatballs, they quite often put the raw meat and let it poach and infuse it with more flavor. Nothing wrong with that either. Because our soup is a cream-based one, it tends to reduce and stick a little bit, so I'm not quite so happy about poaching it in the mushroom mixture. Let's get our can of mushrooms. Boom. Again, let's go back to our ever-present little margarine in there. Perfecto. Let's get our mushroom soup. Just getting a nice heat on those mushrooms. So this is a 515 milliliter can, which is approximately 16, 17 ounces, 16 and a half ounces, 17 ounces. This is purportedly a ready to eat. So I've used about 12 ounces thus far. Let's see how that heats up. I'm finding it a little bit thick. So I'm gonna add a little bit of cream or milk to it. Swirl that around a bit. Turn this down. This is at medium right now. I'm going to take it down. Take it down. And let's sexy it up a little bit. A little Worcestershire sauce, like that. Maybe a half teaspoon. You could stir it in, yes. I like swirling. See how fast that was? Let's give it a taste. No, it needs more. Yeah, about another, maybe 3/4 of a teaspoon now. Ah, there we go. Well, a little bit of tang in there. There we go. So maybe a full teaspoon. I probably added to it thus far. Let's add some black pepper. It might even need a pinch of salt, but I'm not going to put the salt in until I have introduced the meatballs, because the meatballs have their own heavy seasoning to it. Okay, let's take a look. Yep, I like that. Boom, let's draw a line. Spoon coating. I get the line. Yep, perfect. I'm liking this. Let's check our little meatballs in the oven. See how fast this is coming together? Really quickly. Really quickly. Hey, kiddos, how you doing? Let's check. You do realize that modern pork is so safe, probably safer than chicken, that you can eat your modern pork medium rare. We are at 158, 178. Oh, we're getting up there. Okay. How long did that take? Maybe 5 minutes. Quick and easy. Good. I'm now going to take my little meatballettes. In we go. In we go. Look at that pan. No cleanup there. Then I'm going to swirl my meatballs again. I'm going to turn this off completely while I set up my plate and just let the meatballs just sort of sit in that sauce. And as the heat reduces from the electric element, it'll just keep it warm as we go. Now let's get a plate. Here we have our meatballs, all ready to go. Our rice that we prepared earlier. Little trick for presentation. I'm just going to put my rice in the middle. Then I'm going to put my ladle in the middle of it. I'm just going to rub it out, just like that. Our meatballs, we can just spoon right into the middle. Then I'm going to spoon the sauce over. It's got a lovely kind of caramely look to it. Now we can get really daring. You want to be really daring? Why not? If you have some nutmeg at home, great. I'm going to use a little bit of allspice. You can even use cinnamon. Goes well with cream sauces. And if you want to have a little green on there, you've got any type of green herb. There we go.